Hello everyone and welcome to our newest Top 5 Zelda video. Today we're going to be counting down 5 of the biggest unanswered questions from the Legend of Zelda series. We already have similar videos such as the Top 5 Mysteries of Ocarina of Time, the Top 5 Mysteries of Majora's Mask, Top 10 Cancelled or Unused Content in Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker, and more. If you're a fan of videos like these, please give us a like and subscribe. With all of that out of the way, let's get started.
Who are they in Majora's Mask? This is a quick one. In Majora's Mask on the second day, one of the main side quests to save 𝐵𝐸 and Andrew's marriage, you're required to complete a smaller side quest which requires you to save the cows in Romani Ranch from aliens only known as them. They visit every single year before the Carnival of Time. Some think the red star in the sky is somehow related, but we have no official confirmation. We have absolutely no information about them at all. In fact, the closest thing we have may actually be completely unrelated. Nintendo showed an unused concept from Breath of the Wild called The Legend of Zelda: Invasion, and even created a comic alongside it. This was during the same time they showed off the motorcycle and other unused content. While the motorcycle and other concepts made it into the game via DLC, the aliens attacking as well as the amazing Minish never made it. As Breath of the Wild has connections to almost every Zelda game, perhaps this could have been another tie-in to Majora's Mask. Sadly, 20 years later, and we have no idea who them or they are.
Is it possible to stop Demises' curse? Ganondorf, or some other form of evil, has always reincarnated or returned over and over. We've mostly been given simple explanations over the years for this, such as his followers wishing for him to be revived, or he magically just returns by himself. Sometimes we've even just been given no explanation. In Skyward Sword, however, all of this mystery finally came to a close, as we were told this is actually a curse from the Demon King Demise that was so strong it has lasted well over 10,000 years apparently, since we see this curse still in effect in Breath of the Wild. Other curses and seals in the Zelda series are usually broken or tend to weaken after a while, so why not this curse? Is there any way to actually break it? Even using the Triforce, which is supposed to make any wish or dream of your heart's desire come true. Many have wished for Ganon or some other evil to go away and Hyrule to be restored, yet he or some evil from Demise's curse always seems to return. Now obviously in real life this is just because each new Zelda game needs a villain, but in the game world it makes it a bit of an eye roll or a boring excuse for a villain. The reincarnation of Demise's hatred cursing people to be evil. Can no main boss or villain just be evil on their own and not be influenced by a curse? Is everything that is evil somehow just a product of Demise? If so, it kind of makes these villains lose a bit of their individuality. But that's a question for another video. Now I love fighting Demise in Skyward Sword, and it would be cool to have him return to finish the curse in an epic battle, or maybe we get to fight another enemy who doesn't gain powers thanks to Demise's curse, but has his own evil intentions and his own power that is even beyond that of Demise. Who knows? But how do you guys think the curse could be stopped?
Who is the 8th heroine? The Sheikah Slate's description says, there's a legend about the 7 heroines in the Gerudo region, but it turns out that an 8th heroine existed, and she is worshipped to this day by her faithful in the Gerudo Highlands. While visiting the Gerudo region, we learned the 7 heroines protected the Gerudo region long ago. Despite having giant statues of each in the region, who they were and their history has become a mystery and a legend only believed by some of the Gerudo. When we move to the 8th heroine, she is like a mystery packed inside a mystery, since we are told she was purposefully removed from history. Even her statue stands alone and isolated with a different sword. Some believe the 7 heroines to be the Gerudo's depiction of the 7 sages, and the 8th heroine being like Zelda, possibly even Link, but removed because Link is a male. Some believe the 8th heroine to have once been a hero, like the name suggests, but removed from history for going rogue or turning against the others. Hopefully, this is a mystery that will be solved in Breath of the Wild 2. Let us know what your own theory is. What is Ganondorf's endgame? Ganondorf has taken over Hyrule multiple times, the Twilight Realm, and even turned the Sacred Realm into the Dark World, and who knows what other areas he has conquered. The real question is, what is his actual endgame? What happens when he is done? In Wind Waker, he gives us a real explanation. He wants to take over Hyrule and give his people, the Gerudo, equality. His exact quote, "My country lay within a vast desert. When the sun rose into the sky, a burning wind punished my lands, searing the world. And when the moon climbed into the dark of night, a frigid gale pierced our homes. No matter when it came, the wind carried the same thing, death. But the winds that blew across the green fields of Hyrule brought something other than suffering and ruin. I coveted that wind, I suppose." Despite his somewhat heroic and heartfelt speech, in the game before Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, he actually did succeed in taking over Hyrule for over 7 years, and his people remained in the same torturous desert. However, he did sort of bring equality to Hyrule, but instead of making everything better as he stated he would do, he completely destroyed all of the kingdom, and every person of every race suffered while he isolated himself in a castle, which no one could even reach, as it floated above lava. In Twilight Princess, he really doesn't do much when he takes over. Breath of the Wild, it really isn't him, but a pure evil form of malice that just wants to destroy everything. A Link to the Past, he sort of rules over the Dark World, but a lot of people are still suffering with monsters freely roaming. So the question remains, what would Ganondorf do if he properly took over Hyrule? Can we take his speech from Wind Waker at face value? And if so, why did he not do any of that during the events of Ocarina of Time? Will we ever learn more about the missing links? Throughout the Legend of Zelda series, we have several different heroes or versions of Link that are mentioned, but we learn little to nothing about them. Minish Cap tells us the origin of the hero of men, and how the Minish came from the sky to give him the Picori blade, and the Light Force. We even see images of him, showing him to look similar to the normal looking Link. Breath of the Wild shows artwork depicting the events from 10,000 years ago, where a past hero works alongside Zelda and the 4 champions to defeat Ganon. Skyward Sword teaches us about Hylia's chosen hero, who originally wielded the Master Sword and helped stop Demise. There are other heroes mentioned throughout the series as well, but I feel these are the 3 that are the most famous, and it would be incredible to have a game that reveals more information about them. A Breath of the Wild prequel with the hero from 10,000 years ago, or a Zelda game about the hero of men showing the events shortly after Skyward Sword, it could work as both a Skyward Sword sequel and a Minish Cap prequel, since that's the era the hero of men would have been alive in. More information on any of these 3 heroes and the mysteries surrounding them would be amazing, and it would actually be the first time we would get a Zelda game based off of a hero that we already knew about. That's it for now, but a lot of rumors, news, and details are slowly leaking out. So please, stay subscribed and notified, and join our Discord to make sure you stay up to date on all Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 news. And you can find our Zelda podcast, the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫, here on YouTube and on iTunes, where we have had many guests who have worked on the Zelda series, and have shared a lot of amazing stories about voice acting, such as Patricia Somerset voice acting as Zelda, Mike Drucker on Zelda's writing or translation team, coming up with the jokes in the game, stories behind the names of characters that he created. Please subscribe and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you. If you are a fan of our Zelda videos like this, Zelda Theories, our Zelda podcast, the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐴 on iTunes, we would all really appreciate your support at patreon.com/GameOverJesse. That and buying our t-shirts will get you and your YouTube or Twitch a shout out every week on our 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐴. And if you send in a photo of yourself in our Game Over Jesse or 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐴 t-shirt, we can use it for promotion at the end of some of our videos.